Hi guys, welcome back. This is Saxon 76, lesson 7. This is for my 6th graders, math 6. Today we're going to be talking about linear measures. And if you're following along at home, make sure you're in our Saxon 76 3rd edition book. We're going to be on, like I said, lesson 7. And as I mentioned, we're talking about linear measures. Guys, the word linear just means line. And today we're going to be talking kind of about rulers and how those work. Dealing with that in fractional form, okay? So what I've done now, let's switch back over to here. All right, so now that you can see my board, linear just means lines. We're gonna be talking about lines today. All right, so with that said, I've gone ahead and made a photocopy of the book that I have here, and I'm gonna zoom in on that a little bit. All right, so we're gonna zoom in here so you can kind of see it a little bit better. Let me straighten that puppy out. All right, so in the center here, you'll see on our book, we have this fractional bit that says, here, let's do this. Just bear with me a moment, my sweet children. You guys are so kind, as I am not technologically advanced, I don't know. All right, so taking a look at this guy right here, all right, we've got this lovely little ruler, and it's broken up into 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So our 1 inch is right here. What we're looking for on this is we want to talk about fractional inches. Guys, if you take a look at a ruler, it's going to look like this. There's inches on one side, millimeters on the other. Folks, if you look at this, you'll see inches, and then there's all these tiny little dashes right in there. Do you see that? Can't keep it to focus. I don't know. All right, so you'll see all those tiny little dashes, and guys, those tiny little dashes, there's 16 of them. So you often hear when you're talking about measuring things, carpenters will use this like 1/16. Mechanics use it because they're talking about the size of the tool that they need to use. We have like 3/16 and 8/16, which would be 1/2, right? So you probably don't hear that as much, but we're gonna talk about how that all works. So taking a look at this guy, if we have this in front of us, if I asked you to cut everything in half, you would say this. This would be 1/2, right? This would be 1 1/2, right? But I'm just gonna put 1/2 for now. I think that'll make it a little easier. 1/2, between 2 and 3, cut that in half. I get 1/2, 1/2. Guys, so now from this point, what we have, and the reason it's 1/2 is because there are 2 chunks here. Do you see that? There are 2 chunks. So we've got, I'm gonna pause this, turn my light on, and see if that helps. So give me a second here. All right, guys, hopefully that's a little bit better. Okay, so as I was saying, these are broken up into 2 chunks. Do you see how there's a chunk here and a chunk here? That's why this is the one of the 2 chunks, right? Part of a whole is what we're dealing with when we talk about fractions, okay? Now, we want to split those halves into other halves. 1/2 of 1/2. Take a look up here in this corner. 1/2 of, which we know is multiplication of 1/2. Again, when we multiply fractions, we multiply straight across the top, straight across the bottom. That's 1/4. So 1/2 of a half, that goes right in here. 1/2 of a half is 1/4. Okay? Here's another 1/2 of a half. And now do you see we've broken it up into 1, 2, 3, 4 even chunks. This is the 3rd of 4 chunks. The 3rd of 4 chunks. Is that making a little bit more sense? I'm hoping that does. But if you can see, now we break up between 1 and 1/2. We have this guy right here, which is going to be 1/4, 1/4. And so when we have 3 of the 4th, that goes right here, 3 of a 4. A really common thought with fourths is quarters, right? If you have 1/4 out of 4, you have 25 cents, right? 3/4 out of 4, you have 3 out of 4, so you would have 75 cents. You'll see that coming up again and again. All right, so with that said, if you have any questions about that activity, let me know. I'd be happy to help you in class. But in the meantime, let's jump into some of these other ones. Okay, I didn't print these off because we can go ahead and just work right through these ones. Example 1 says, how long is this line segment? How long is that line segment? Well, you see that it comes up to 1, so it's going to be 1 and, let's see here. This one is going to be 1. Okay. Whoop. There we go. Ooh. Ah, worse. Oh, lighting is the bane of my existence. Okay, so 1, and then we come back over here. What I'll do is this. Then I'll slide it back and forth. Okay, so in this next bit, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 chunks. 4 chunks, right? Except it stops on the first one. So we have 1 whole and then 1 of 4 chunks. The way we would write that is, get that out of the way, 1 and 1/4. 1 and 1/4, okay? Let's look at this next one, example 2. This guy right down here, do you see this one? How long is this line segment? Oh, I'm sorry, when we were talking about number 1, it's in inches, okay? So in inches. This guy right here is 1 centimeter and then 2 centimeters, right? And it stops right on the 2, so that's a little easier. So that's 2 centimeters. Okay, so looking at these guys right down here, I'm gonna show you in my book. Sorry, it has the answers already, but that's all right. Looking at these practice problems, what we have is, misplaced my brain if I didn't find it. We go all the way to 1, right? And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 chunks, but we stop on this line right here, which is 3 out of 4 chunks. So it would be 1 3/4 chunks, okay? The next guy, we go all the way to 20, and then halfway between 20 and 30 is going to be 25. And you can count that by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 chunks there. It's 5 of 10 chunks, which we know is 5 of 10 is really just 1/2. If you take a look over here, right there. Okay, those equal the same thing. So hopefully that explains it. I'm sorry, my technological dysfunction here. I appreciate your understanding. We'll go with that. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, we'll see you for lesson 8. We'll see you for lesson 8. Thanks, guys, for your patience.